Alright, so this would be my somewhat explanation on how to do a rear main seal or crankshaft seal and an oil pan gasket on a 98 through I believe 02 Ford Ranger 3.0s. I had a really tough time finding a good video that actually explained everything you need to do both of these in general. So if I have any recommendations, I would definitely say while you're here, go ahead and do your oil pan gasket, because to do this you have to pull the transmission. So if you're there, do both. Just get it out of the way. Now for the oil pan, I lied. For the crankshaft and or rear main seal, I thought this was going to be a nightmare to get out, but it really wasn't. So the factory has little grooves right on the side that you just wiggle it out with a little flathead screwdriver. And then to put it back in, to put your new one in, I just took the end of an extension and a hammer, because this would be your flat surface. That way you don't give any grooves or nothing. And that literally fits right in there. You just tap it in. Easy peasy for you DIY guys. Now for the full process, theoretically would be, is obviously it would be lighter if you drained your transmission fluid. You know, you drop the 8.5 to 10 quarts, however much it is that they hold, I don't remember. If you don't, you will get a little bit out of the back end of your transmission when you're coming down, and also from the torque converter when you pull it out the front. So obviously disconnect your harnesses. Well, that's O2, but disconnect your transmission harnesses, your transmission lines, your shifter cable, and then you have your transmission bolts. These three I got from the top up there. It's the easiest way to get them. The bottom one's relatively easy, just lay underneath your truck, do however you got to do. But then you obviously pull your transmission back, get that out of the way in a relatively safe position. Then you have your, I can't reach it. Can't remember the name of that. I'm no master mechanic. But you have your flywheel cover, I believe, flywheel torque converter. So that plate is always behind this. So when I go to put this back on, that plate will go first. Then you have the flywheel that goes on. In theory, just like that. Hopefully it doesn't fall on my face. Then you have your torque converter. Honestly, it is so much easier to bolt the torque converter to this versus trying to put it on, slide the transmission on, and then go through the inspection plate, which is that far end right there. It's that one. It is so much easier to just go through it from this side while all that shit is off, out of the way. But also the biggest thing that I had trouble with is you are supposed to pull the motor to do the oil pan gasket, which sucks because I know I don't have a cherry picker. Most DIY guys probably won't have a cherry picker, engine hoist, whatever you would like to call it. So if you disconnect this O2 sensor, it helps taking the transmission out. And then if you pull your motor mounts out, not out, but you take the two bolts off of each side for your motor mounts. Oh, give me a second, I'm getting old. But those little guys right there, they're both 18 millimeters. You take your two motor mount bolts off each side. Here's a clearer view. And then take your two 10mm bolts off of your radiator cover for the fan and just let it hang. Just let it be loose. And then for me, I already had the transmission pulled, so I had to figure out a way to jack the motor up. So I took a flat piece of wood in my floor jack and went right here. Yes, it's not the proper way to get it. Yes, I'll probably get criticism. It's fine. I did it myself. I'm okay with it. It worked. Nothing broke. And from jacking from here, obviously lifted the motor up. Be careful when you do it, because I'm sure you can break a power steering line or one of these hard lines that are up there, but these are your transmission lines. They're already loose. They're fine. But realistically, it was probably the easiest part of the entire job, was doing that oil pan gasket. So like I said again, you got to disconnect your motor mounts. So there's 4 in total, 18mm bolts. Take them completely off. Your radiator fan housing, take the 2 10mm bolts off each side of that, pull it off so the tabs at the bottom come loose, and let it hang so it can free move. That way you don't have to take your radiator fan off. And just be careful while you're jacking the motor up, and just go a little bit at a time and make sure you can get this down. Don't go pulling on it super hard, because you have the pipe that comes down here with your oil pump, and that's what it gets caught on. So you have to be careful while you're doing this, or you'll bend the shit inside. So just take your time. Not everything, take your time. And then, like I started explaining the first of the video, I'm no master mechanic. You guys can do it however you want.